Well, Malaysia's Prime Minister Mahathir Mohammad says his country may be targeted by US sanctions. Washington accuses Kuala Lumpur of manipulating the value of its currency, the ringgit, and warns it could face punitive measures. TRT World's senior business producer Mobin Nasir met with Malaysia's former Trade and Industry Minister Rafidah Aziz on the sidelines of the TRT World Forum in Istanbul. He began by asking her if Malaysia is a currency manipulator.
Ordinarily, I wouldn't even want to hazard an answer, to such kind of questions. But I would like to say categorically that it's not Malaysia's culture, financial culture, governance culture, to manipulate our currencies. It does not serve any purpose. The only thing we ever did was 1997 crisis when we pegged the ringgit to the dollar at 380 because we needed to do that. It was such a great volatilities. But when we freed the ringgit into the marketplace, it is now due to market forces.
Now, beyond this allegation, the US-China trade war is a problem for Malaysia. It's a country that relies on both those economies. How do you see Malaysia navigating these troubled waters?
Well, Malaysia, like many other countries integrated to the global economic infrastructure and trade infrastructure, is one of the collateral damage countries when two economic majors have this trade war. Because we are part of the supply chain, and if indirectly there is a headwind coming our way because of these dislocations of trade between the two, well, we have to manage that. We have now to begin to identify which areas are we directly or indirectly affected. There are also tailwinds that come out of that phenomenon. Why? Because, for example, companies operating in China would want to relocate. So if we can manage the headwinds, which we have always done, so we can learn from our past lessons, at the same time benefit and find the potential to benefit from the tailwinds, I think we'll be able to counterbalance any negativities there.
But talking about those tailwinds now, Malaysia isn't the only country that is trying to capitalize on that. We have Thailand with the 4.0 program.
Everybody wants to.
Don't you see this creating some sort of contention within the bloc?
No. Why should we? We just compete to the best of our ability because we have our own pull factors, so to speak. And we are not drawing the same investments as they would want to go to other countries. We have found strength in certain sectors, more of the higher end, and it would be beneficial for us to focus on those areas where we are good at as hosts for those investments. They can go to the other ASEAN countries where they need perhaps much more labor intensive, or at a lower end.
Let's switch now to an industry which is both a backbone and also a cause of controversy, at least in recent times. Palm oil. We've seen a lot of bad press about pollution, about deforestation.
Yes.
How does Malaysia address those concerns and make sure that this industry keeps contributing to its economy?
Correct. It is about sustainability. And as you know, we always ask the private sector to make sure that they have a very high level of governance, of stewardship of all their plantation operations, whether they do it in Malaysia or in neighboring countries like Indonesia and so on. There is no excuse for them to undertake, for example, slash and burn approach to clearing land or taking shortcuts that do not care for the environment. We're talking about the 3 Ps, bottom line now, while you want to make profits, take care of people and planet. So from the government standpoint, I do believe that the Malaysian government has never condoned and will not condone anything that smacks of lack of proper governance and stewardship.